Dave Porter, taking on one of my most challenging categories that I've ever worked in. On behalf of Meet Doylestown and Vouch Video, we're here with Jason from Varco Thomas Funeral Home. When it comes to these pre-arrangement funerals, there's a lot of benefits. Tell me what those benefits are to the family.
The main benefit is emotional and also sensitivity. With the emotional aspect, many times the details such as vital statistics, funeral merchandise, and services selected are all taken care of ahead of time, so it makes it much less stressful for the family. Another benefit of pre-planning is you can also pay for those services ahead of time by utilizing, I like to suggest to families using a funeral insurance. This way it grows tax-free and it doesn't go back to the recipient who you're making the arrangement for, where if you used a trust at a bank or a trust in general, they would be taxable. This grows tax-free from the date of funding up until the date of passing, and we would also guarantee it for the future, which means we would utilize the interest to offset the increase in our fees or your outside disbursements.
Obviously, the loved one or the person setting up the pre-arrangement, they could be doing it together as well, really truly understands what the deceased really desires.
When a person makes a pre-arrangement and it's funded and all the details are taken care of, what happens is we tend to focus more on the passing and the loved one in lieu of what has to be done, because there's difficult choices or the finances have already been taken care of ahead of time, so it's much less stressful, and we just focus on the day and times of services. If it's cremation, we'll do the identification here prior to the cremation occurring, and soon we'll be able to do that on site at our facility as well.
Jason, you've been well recognized by the industry in regards to your experience when it comes to all types of funeral processions as well as pre-arrangement services. Tell me about your background and your history.
I started in the industry when I was in high school and proceeded and was graduated at 21, where I got my New Jersey license and received also my Pennsylvania and New York State funeral director's licenses. From there I received my insurance license, which allows me to do the pre-planning aspect. And you must have a funeral director's license as well as an insurance producer license to even write a policy for a family. So that gives me access to not only the trust, but knowing how important it is when funding to use the insurance. What insurance does is it gives people flexibility. If they're younger, they could pay over 3, 4, 7, or 10 years. And unfortunately, if they should pass halfway through that policy in one day, many times their funeral is paid up where they in essence only paid for half of that funeral. It also gives people, when dealing with Medicaid or Medicaid spend down issues, you can pay it up front in one single payment policy, and that access also gives you the interest from the date of funding to the date of passing.
Well, Jason, it's very clear that you have the facilities here to properly not only plan for a funeral, but to actually have a funeral. The location is really a phenomenal location right here in Doylestown. I think at the end of the day, it's really care and sensitivity that you have for each and every family that comes in here. And when it comes to this category, you want someone with experience, with the right licensing, and Jason, you have that established track record dating back to how long?
It's been 23 years.
So long time, long established family track record, and I want to thank you for having us out and sharing the details in regards to pre-arrangement funeral planning.